Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Higurashi manga review. We're looking at Onisarashi today, and this is the arc that inspired Someutsushi and Kageboshi's console arcs. And yeah, I think it definitely has its flaws, but it was a pretty good read. Now, I think this manga, its story and in general the concept that it was trying to create was really nice. And that concept was the imagination of what would happen after June 1983, after the gas disaster. Countrywide, how there would be really bad effects. It's genuinely surprising to see just how far people from Hinamizawa would go, and then obviously how far society would go, because there's not only people from Hinamizawa going insane because of their belief in Oyashiro-sama, but then there's the people who have nothing to do with any of this, just getting a lot of abuse and just being bullied in general, and completely unnecessary accidents happening. Well, not accidents, but situations happening just because of the fact that they either have some relation to Hinamizawa or they have nothing whatsoever, and people are just being paranoid and imagining they do. But my god, there's just... And then, obviously, all of the newspapers and media outlets cashing in on this and trying to make up the most ridiculous... Well, some of them aren't made up, but just trying to report the most ridiculous story. Sometimes they probably were exaggerated, let's be honest here. But, yeah, it's a really cool concept. And what I also like is everything with the Kimiyoshi family as well. Now, I don't think any of the characters, Kimiyoshi, Chisato... Tamako and also Akira, I just don't think they had enough development at all. But I won't deny, I loved the feeling, the feeling I got of unease when I was looking at just how Kimiyoshi's family totally declined just because of Aki, i.e. the grandmother who went insane because of Oyashiro-sama. So what she was doing is she constantly prays. And even though she knows that that praying is making everybody else in the family uncomfortable, she still does it. And then the actions she does, they get more and more drastic just because she believes that, I suppose, she's got to do more in order to protect them from said curse. And the horrible thing about all of these awful actions that she is doing is they're all done with what she thinks is the greater good of the family, because she thinks all of these ridiculous actions are going to protect the family from said curse. And I mean, I think the best example was like that insanely meticulous decorating of the house. Wait, actually, I can't remember if it was... Wait, no, scrap that. I think... Wait, no, hang on a second. I'm getting confused with like Someutsushi and Kageboshi. Let's just use an example that did fully happen in this, that was caused by her. I mean, the drowning of the animals in the cage, that was sick. But yeah, it's just an example of how her thoughts become totally corrupt. And she believes she's protecting everybody, but in reality she's just making people's lives worse. And oh my god, seeing Natsumi's decline is really quite unusual, because we're kind of shown her decline in a way that portrays her as being the victim, because she then what happens is she murders everybody and then she passes out, and probably for quite a long time, because she wakes up in the hospital and she kind of imagines everything, and we read her imagination before learning the truth. And I suppose what's kind of ironic about Natsumi's decline is what actually happened is more reminiscent of the events that happened in Kageboshi, but what we are shown is similar to the events that happened in Someutsushi. And honestly, I think the murders are done really quite well. I think this manga artist, Enkito, he or she, I don't know, but they did a really good job of making everything have a really nightmarish feel to it, and I like that a lot. And in general, I think the art style is quite nice in this, and I think they drew Tamako here so much better than they did in the console sprites. She looks... I'm sorry, but she looks so ugly in the console sprites. But, yeah, anyway, I think the last thing I want to mention is probably my biggest problem with the manga. It's the ending. Firstly, I think the twist of Natsumi having revealed everything, I love it, because the thing is, I know these stories from the visual novels, but at the same time, I did not expect that twist to happen whatsoever. But then it's just, the more you learn from Akasaka and Oishi, the better it becomes, really, and the more you start to question how much you really know what is going on, and I like that. I like how there was even something new for me. And I also like the twist, but then I don't like the fact that I don't really think it was elaborated on enough. And also, I just think the bit about Natsumi stabbing Akira as well, I mean, I just personally didn't like it because I just don't really think there was enough indication of the fact that she was insane enough to do that. And it just felt too sudden. It just really felt out of place. I mean, with Some Utsushi, sure, that was cool. And oh my god, the ending of that chapter was terrifying. But no, I just didn't like it here. But seriously, Some Utsushi did some, especially edits with the voice, that no chapter has ever done before. And I mean, a lot of it was just shock value, sure, but it was still cool in how it was done. But yeah, anyway, I'm going on a tangent here. I think the last thing I want to mention is no Tomoe, instant 0 out of 10. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it is a shame that there wasn't any Tomoe in the story. And apart from that, though, I did like Oishi and Akasaka's involvement. And oh my god, I just think it's so funny that the first time we see Oishi, well, he looks like a total pedo, basically. Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's from Okinomiya bookstores, my arse. Like, what was that scene with Natsumi? I mean, these guys, they're trying to get to the bottom of these incidents, and yet he is basically doing things that, let's be honest, nowadays would be, well, they should be considered illegal. Yeah, it was a very weird interrogation scene, that, but yeah, it was nice to see Oishi and Akasaka's involvement, and just in general how they kind of tied with everything that happened to Akira as well, and yeah, it was cool. So in general, this manga was quite nice. And next, we're going to be beginning the answer arcs. We've got the Meakashi volumes here, so got volume 1, volume 2, and then these 2 volumes as well, 3 and 4. I'm going to be very excited for this arc because at least in the visual novel version, Meakashi is, if you ask me, probably the second best chapter of, in general, the series. I think Tsumi Horoboshi is my favourite. So basically we've got the 2 best chapters within the entire series coming up next. And I'm going to be very excited to read that. And obviously, first answer arcs I've read in manga form. So yeah, obviously there's 4 mini volumes, so it's going to take fucking ages because I don't really have much time to read these. I kind of read the manga in really small amounts, but I do it consistently and I do it nearly every day, so that's kind of why I read. And then obviously in the weekends I do like 2 chapters, maybe a maximum of 3 if I'm feeling like it, but that's rare. And if I have the time. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, thanks for watching.